peeps, welcome to the new video. My name is Molly and I'm gonna be your host today. Anyway, so in today's video, I thought I would do a little question and answer session. I did this over on my Instagram stories. I asked what sort of questions you guys had regarding my Asia trip. I do have some videos coming up about each individual place, but I thought this would be a good starting point. Kind of answer some of the questions you guys gave me. So we're gonna go right into it. All right, so I got a ton of responses. I'm gonna try not to repeat anything, and these are gonna be like all out of order. Some of them are cut off a little bit because I screenshotted it, not thinking about the fact that if it's longer, then I don't have the rest of the question. So the first question I have is, what was your favorite ride that's unique to the Asian parks? And what was your favorite ride that was redone, I believe is what the question was, over there that we have in the US? My favorite ride altogether was Big Grizzly Gulch, Mountain Gulch. The name's on the screen, obviously. I guess you could kind of consider it like a Thunder Mountains, but it was way better and way different. So that's why I considered that my favorite unique ride. My favorite redone ride? Oh, Honey Hunt, probably. Pooh's Honey Hunt was so cute. Who am I kidding? Pirates of the Caribbean at Shanghai. I'm dumb, I'm sorry. Pirates of the Caribbean at Shanghai. Best thrill ride would be the Grizzly Gulch Mountain Bear. Someone said, did you buy park tickets in advance? Also, did you look into staying in non-Disney resorts? All of our park tickets besides Tokyo were actually covered by our gracious friend that works at Disney, Rachel, on the trip, which was such a blessing. So you do get access over there as well as you get your guests into the international parks, just not Tokyo. Tokyo we did buy in advance. We bought it quite a bit before we got there, and I can't remember how we got the tickets. It was pretty efficient for those, and it made it way easier because at the other parks you had to pick them up every day at Shanghai. Did you look into staying at non-Disney resorts? 100%. We weren't gonna stay in a Disney resort in Tokyo or in Shanghai, but then Shanghai has a lot of visa like requirements, basically proof that you're going to a resort and proof that it's legit and all this stuff. And when it came down to it, we were looking at Airbnbs, especially for Shanghai. But when it came down to it, it was much easier for us to be like, hey, we have a Disney resort reservation. Disney is legit. It was like a fail-safe. Like we knew that that was gonna work and they were gonna trust it when we were going through customs. So we kind of just ended up at all Disney resorts. We knew all along Hong Kong was gonna be Disney. Also kind of Tokyo because Celebration Hotel is so cute, plus it's cheap, plus it's Disney, so like, oh, why not? But it just kind of happened that way, so we didn't plan to do that. How was it going through customs and immigration? Great! Actually, Shanghai Pudong Airport was the worst. We had such a hard time going through immigration there. We kept getting sent through other lines, trying to get to Hong Kong to there, blah, blah, blah. We went through the 144-hour rule and not the actual visa rule, which I can explain later on, and it just was A, nerve-wracking, B, we stood there for hours, I think. Like, I can't remember the exact amount of time we stood there. I probably have it on video, but it took a long time and there was only 10 people in front of us. But other than that, all the customs, everything else was super welcoming, easygoing. They stamped us in, we went into the country, went out of the country back to the US. I'd like to know the planning and cost breakdown of your trip, if you used any deals or specials or got any discounts, I'm assuming is what that says. I can try to like put a breakdown on the screen here. It's hard to break it down because a lot of our tickets were free. I believe I've got the prices of all the hotels that we paid, and it was split between the four of us for the most part. As far as the hotels, we didn't get any discounts on the hotels. I think we were gonna do cash rate for some of them and then we were just like, ah, forget it, let's just book it because we had to call and pay for the call. Listen, we just did it how we did it. I don't know. Are all the Asia parks worth visiting? Yes, 100% yes. Would you do it differently if you could go again? Not really. I think we did it pretty well. There was things that we got confused on. So maybe like different planning, but honestly, like I think the way we discovered things and how things just like came up, it was awesome. Maybe if we could tack on extra time and go to either Kyoto or go to Beijing for Great Wall or go to Osaka for USJ. I'm so sad we didn't go to Universal Studios Japan. How much did it cost you in total? Do you recommend doing all the Asia parks in one trip? We talked a little bit of how much it cost in total, so we've got that. Do you recommend doing all Asia parks in one trip? It's exhausting. You have to be prepared to be going all the time, but I love that we did all of them in one trip. Like, we just like saw everything, and it was like a great group of people where we were all very Disney people. It was a great time. I loved doing all of them in one trip. Honestly, my life was changed after Shanghai Disneyland, and knowing that I don't have any desire to see Shanghai, the city, ever again in my life. Like, why would you fly over? I'm not gonna hate on Shanghai, you know? Let's just move on to the next question. Did you have any trouble finding your way around? Yes. Yes, you can definitely see in the vlogs anytime that we had any problems. I mean, I say trouble, but I've also like had much more trouble other places. It was confusing, but like everybody's willing to help. For the most part, when we were confused, someone would come up and help us. What was your favorite snack you had at any of the parks? I loved all the different ice cream bars that they had over there. So they had a strawberry mini in Shanghai, the Shelly Mae donut, just because it was so cute. And it was actually pretty good. It was very sweet, but it was pretty good. Was there a special tax fee to get into Shanghai? I've read you had to pay extra. If there was something worked into our tickets, maybe I'll have to look into that. But no, we didn't pay like just to get into the country or anything like that. It was just the waiting in line. But again, like I said, we did the 144-hour rule, which I don't know if there's something different for somebody who has a visa, but you do have to pay for a visa, and that's like 150 bucks plus processing. What was your plan of attack for the parks? Which rides are worth the wait, etc.? This is a video in itself. We definitely had a list before we came where we planned out the show times, plans of attack. However, as much as we planned it out, we just winged it with a lot of things. Showtimes, for one thing, we thought when we went to Tokyo that you could only do lottery for shows. No, lottery is just for like the really close middle seats, which you don't even need. We had great seats. We just randomly walked up to Big Band Beat. Perfect seats, perfect view. Love that show. Big fan, big fan. It was just kind of like off the cuff. Hong Kong, we had some killer friends over there that helped us out into all the attractions, so we didn't have to worry about that one as much. It's super easy. And Shanghai was rainy AF the first day and a half, so nobody was there. So we literally didn't even have to plan our days there. We just ran from attraction to attraction with no wait. So Tokyo was really the only one that we had to plan, but again, we still had so many days, so we just kind of went with the flow and whatever we want to do the most. Tokyo Disney is just so intimidating. When did you start planning? It can seem intimidating, but I promise you it really isn't when you get over there. It seems overwhelming because it feels like this foreign, far-off land, which, like, I guess it is. Like, you get over there and it's just like, oh, you're just like in another place, but, you know, they speak a different language. Like, there's just, I don't know how to explain it to you unless you've ever done foreign traveling, especially to places where you don't speak the language. We kind of started planning in January of 2018, but that was in the sense of me and another friend were talking about going to Japan, and then Rachel were talking about going to Shanghai. And so we like kind of linked up where we were talking about stuff, and then it was like, ooh, what if we all go to Tokyo together? So then we talked about it, it's been a couple months, then we were like, okay, well, let's add on Shanghai and Tokyo, that'll be our trip. And then we added on Hong Kong last and bought our tickets. I'm trying to remember, I will correct myself on screen, it was either like June or July of 2018, and we ended up flying in November. We were going to go in August originally, so that's why we started planning so early. How was the language barrier? Not bad. I will honestly tell you that. It was not bad. Disney parks are easy. A lot of people speak English, so it makes it very easy, and people are very, very excited to help you out over there. Outside of the parks, there were some places that were like very much deep into Cantonese, Mandarin, or Japanese, whatever it was. But even still, I think there was so much English everywhere that it really is not as hard as you think. What free stuff can you get? Fun fact, if you guys watch my haul video, I talk all about the free stuff that you can get. Why did you like Shanghai more than Tokyo Disneyland? So I fight to the death for Shanghai over Tokyo Disneyland. And here's the tea. Let's talk about this. People love Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea. Not hating on them at all. I want you to understand that I also love them, and I will 100% go back. But I want you to understand as well that I do like Shanghai better. I think that there's this whole world of people who have never been to Tokyo Disneyland and that kind of like make it up to be this like fantastic magical place in their brains, which it is. be patient. They think it's gonna be so much different. It's gonna be this crazy, new, innovative place. Disney sees like the most themed area in the world, yada, yada, yada. We went to Shanghai first, and Shanghai was one of those moments that I've never felt like that in a Disney park since the first time I walked into Disneyland. I was just like overwhelmed with like how much I love the park, and it was just this new place. Walking into Tokyo Disneyland, love the atrium, would stand for that World Bazaar. The castle is the same castle as Magic Kingdom, and a lot of the rides are the same type of ride. When I say I love Shanghai more, it was because of the feeling I got there and the fact that there wasn't guests there. It was like just us almost, and it was fun, and we got magical momented all over the place. They gave me stuff because I had a birthday button. They were so nice. While Tokyo Disneyland, he's equally as nice, gave us all kinds of stuff, made us birthday stickers is what they have, and first visit stickers, and made sure to select us as like the special winners of the day, and they were so nice as well. But there was just something about Shanghai that just was different, and I think it's just like anybody who walks into Walt Disney World or Disneyland for the first time after living in the other park. It's just a whole new type of magic that you've never felt before. It's so hard to explain unless you've been to all of them. Then I will happily discuss with you about the differences, but if you've never been to them, it's really hard for me to I don't ever want to say that Tokyo Disneyland's worse or anything like that, because I know people love it, and I know people go back just to that park over and over. It is awesome, don't get me wrong, but I like Shanghai better. All right, last one that I've got on here is, what was the hardest part of booking process? It seems so intimidating. I think everybody has, again, like I said, everybody has this like Asia parks pedestal where they think that it's like, there's these parks that are on the other side of the world that are so unattainable. But I think once you start traveling abroad, you kind of understand that these things aren't unattainable. Tickets aren't outrageous. Like, it isn't hard to figure these things out. It just takes a little bit of work and a little bit of patience. The hardest part of the booking process was probably the hotels, because we were just trying to figure it out, and then the Shanghai thing came up, which thank God we decided to stay on site at Shanghai, because we did end up having to have printouts of our hotel reservations and presenting them at the visa check. But the actual airfare was super easy. We just had Google Flights alerts set up for the route we wanted to go, and when it notified us, it would tell us like, it's gonna go down, it's gonna go up. And it finally was one of those things where it was like, it might go down, but it might go up, and it would have definitely gone up. To give you an idea, we booked our flights at $900, just about $900 for the whole flight from LA through Hong Kong, Shanghai, Tokyo, back to LA, all for $900. And then a week later after we booked, probably because we booked it, but after we booked, it was about $1,900. So really, I just don't think there's anything in the booking process that was that difficult besides maybe the hotels. But that was just because we didn't want to call, so hope that answers your question. All right, so that is pretty much all the questions that I got when I had posted that, and I'd taken the screenshots. I'm not sure if I had missed anything, so I do apologize if I had missed any. You are free to leave a question down below. I'll be checking the comments on this video for sure to answer any questions you guys might have, as well as I'm gonna have a park by park, city by city, I guess I should say, videos coming out to talk a little bit more about how it was getting into Shanghai, going to Shanghai the city, as well as the park, things like that. I think it'll be a little bit helpful to break that down. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter so you can see updates about my life in the Disney parks, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!